Hey, I'm live. Good morning, everybody. Let me find my chat. No, I don't see anybody. Hey, Ginger Locks. I was talking to myself. I said, well, I don't see anybody. Hey, Kay. How are you? Hey, Mandy. How are you doing? Oh, let me get my chat back. I just didn't feel like being on camera, guys. Being on camera is getting old to me because it's just too much trouble to have to get up early in the morning and put myself together. I've got so many different things to do around the house. So I figured maybe a couple times a week I'll just use the Google Hangouts. I tried to use Streamlabs this morning. I had it all set up, looking cool, and the app kept closing. Hey, Dana, Pamela, Shook. See, all my regulars are here now that I did it at my usual time, around 9:30. Hey, AP. Of course, this morning, first thing I did was get up and check on Maleah Davis's story to see if they had found her or if the stepdad had admitted to anything. And her biological dad spoke out. Let me do a split screen here so I can find that. He basically doesn't believe her stepdad's story. He doesn't believe Darian's story. He said, Maleah's biological dad said he would like to talk to him because there's just too many holes in his story. Gosh, I mean, like, how many kids have been murdered in the last couple months? I know 2 kids were left in hot cars in Florida already this year, so it just happened. Okay, so I've got an article by ABC 13. The biological father of the missing 4-year-old Maleah Davus wants the child's stepdad to speak to him about what happened when the girl disappeared. On Tuesday, speaking for the first time since his daughter's disappearance over the weekend, Craig Davis told ABC 13 Eyewitness News that he hasn't gone public because he's unsure of how he would react while his child is still missing. I haven't spoken to the public because I can't talk about my daughter. I can't control my emotions. I can't predict myself. I break down and cry, he said. Beyond eagerly waiting the fate of his child, Davis expressed his desire to speak with the girl's stepfather, Darian Bentz, who told authorities that he had been jumped on the side of the road Friday night on the way to Bush Intercontinental Airport to pick up Maleah's mom. According to Bentz, he had Maleah and his 1-year-old son with him when he was beaten unconscious. When he regained consciousness, he wound up on the side of Highway 6 near First Colony Mile the next day with his son and Maleah missing. It was actually the next evening they went missing. She supposedly got abducted Friday night around 9:30, 10. And so he's saying he was knocked unconscious for 24 hours. I would love to talk to a doctor and see. I mean, I'm sure somebody could be knocked unconscious 24 hours, but this guy's story is a bunch of hogwash. Let me get back to my chat, guys. Hey, Cheryl. Turquoise Kitten, good morning. Anna, good morning. This guy's story is a bunch of hogwash, y'all. It really is. It just does not add up. And somebody left me a comment, and it got me thinking. They said, what if the child was already dead before the mother flew to Massachusetts? Because Maleah's mother went to Massachusetts because her father had passed away. Brittany's father passed away. So that's why the stepfather, Darian, and then we're going to the airport was to pick her up. But what if something had already happened to her? How come the mother waited till Saturday to report them missing? Now, damn it, if I'm at the airport and I'm waiting on my husband and my kids to come pick me up and they don't show up, and I had to get a family member to come and get me. And I can't get a hold of them and stuff. I believe I would report it to the police, wouldn't you guys? Kay says, I talked to a medical professional 2 days ago. It's possible, but not likely to be knocked out like that. It would depend on how hard and where he got hit. According to little Brittany Bowen's statement on Facebook, you know, Darren, they had a picture released of him with a big knot on his head. She said in that post that the cops hit his head or something on a door. Maybe that's where he got that knot from. I mean, if somebody's going to knock you out, they're going to hit you right in the forehead. I thought they hit you in the back. I mean, this case has had me so aggravated. This made me so hateful. And I'm sick of it. Like I told my husband, I'm sick of these people getting their kids took for abuse and then them getting them back and murdering them. I'm sick of it. They've got to change these laws. They've got to be stricter when it comes to child abuse. Any kind of abuse. Dana, I said the same thing. How did the toddler just sit there on the side of the road? I guess he didn't move any, you know. Guess he didn't get up and try to walk in the road or anything. It doesn't make sense. And the way that she is defending him, the mother of Brittany, it's got me very suspicious of her. Yesterday, Kay, True Crime Truth Finder, sent me a Facebook post that Brittany had made. And it was, I mean, like, if my child was missing, I damn sure wouldn't be on there taking up for some man. I mean, if my hubby came and told me a story like that, my kid was, I mean, I'd automatically be suspicious, wouldn't you guys? I would. You know, she knows that that man has abused that kid before. I mean, I just feel it. Plus, Maleah and them got took from the home because of her brain injury. They claimed that she fell and hit her head. But when they got to the hospital and they did the MRIs and CAT scans, they found that Maleah had a previous injury. Now, doctors can tell when you've had an injury and it's healed. Yeah, why didn't they take both kids? Right, Mandy? Why didn't they take both kids, the 1-year-old? You know, if it was an abduction for child sex trafficking or something, why didn't they take both kids? Why did they leave Darian and the 1-year-old as a witness, even though he was in and out of consciousness? You know, they didn't know if he would remember them or not, if there was really abductors, you know. He could have described them to the police. Bless mess. Good morning, sweetie. Hey, Shirley. Water ski mom. Hey, Annie, if I didn't say hi. We have a case here. Molester pleaded guilty to serve 10 years, but he gets an entire month to be with his 8-year-old son before he turns himself in to go. Why the hell are they letting him around his son if he's a convicted child molester? I'll tell you what, these cases really get me riled. Hey, Olivia. I love Olivia's name. Olivia, you need to find me on Facebook Messenger. Bill Tong, hey. Just good afternoon from UK. Hey, hun. And the CPS reports, it also said, it stated in those papers, court documents, that Maleah's mother and her biological father, the Davus guy, had a history and pattern of physical abuse and neglect. It was right there stated in those papers. So if they got a pattern and a history, why the hell did they give them kids back? I'm sorry, but I could be wrong, but I'm just not buying this mother's story either. It's very suspicious. It's like she's more worried about, I mean, I'm sure she's worried about her kid if she really didn't have anything to do with this. But to me, she's just more worried about clearing his name. She made some kind of Facebook post yesterday about I guess the hospital cameras picked up, Darian being dropped off with the baby at the hospital. The story is a little bit confusing for me because I've read so many different things, and I actually read something the other day, not yesterday, might have been the day before, that it took him several hours after he regained consciousness to go to the hospital. And that's another thing. He changed his story to police. He said he walked to the hospital after he gained consciousness, but that's a lie. He got a ride from a passerby. Yes, Kay, they got him back after the brain injury. See, when she went to the hospital for that brain injury, the doctor noticed that there was another injury, that a previous injury. They can tell when bones or and stuff's broke. But this, I think, she had a previous head injury. Little girl had just had surgery. Some of her family said after she had this brain injury and the surgeries, it made her a little bit different. And my hubby went through the same thing. He had an accident and had a traumatic brain injury, and he actually has no sense of smell. Ginger Locks. I love that name, Ginger Locks. So cute. Ginger Locks has got a cute little channel. I love listening to her. She's so cute. And True Crime Truth Binders, y'all need to check her out if you're not subscribed. Makes me sick too, Shug. She says the stories they come up with on why their child is missing her dad makes me sick. I just can't believe some of these stories. I mean, it's a shame. I guess I'm a really judgmental person, but it's a shame. Every time I hear a child's missing, I automatically think the parents did something to them, or the step parents. I know you're not supposed to accuse people's stuff without proof, but come on, this story is a bunch of hogwash. Thank you, Water Ski Mom. Water Ski Mom's got a channel. Her daughter's professional water skier. Pretty cool watching her. Sam's got a great craft channel. Saying, my son stole one of my necklaces you made me. The little circle one. He said, Mom, can I have that? I was like, sure, son. I'm sure Shirley won't mind. Oh. He, if it had shells on it, he had his shark shirt on. He wanted it. I was trying to find, maybe Kay can find it. I was trying to find the actual court documents of where they went to court over losing Maleah and her older brother. I mean, if that was my husband, I don't know what I would do. Probably be punching him in the face or something. I don't know. But I damn sure wouldn't be taking up for him with a story like this. I would say, you are a liar. Yes, Shirley, he loved it. It's like the little circle one. He loved it. I knew you wouldn't mind if I give it to him. He's like, oh, Mom, I love that. Can I have that one? I was like, yeah. He's getting into jewelry and stuff. I got to make him some paracord bracelets. Oh, y'all got a new video coming, Water Ski? Mom, man, your daughter's good at that. Yeah, they don't have no motherly instinct, Shook. Some of them. I mean, if she can't tell that that's a bullcrap story, then she's really stupid. I believe she's got something to do with it. I believe she knows more than what she's saying. I hope she's listening to this right now, which is probably not likely, but I know it, Bill Tonk. Hey, I just came across a documentary the other day about it was back, I guess, like in the 50s, but the nuns were abusing the children. I've not got a chance to watch it yet to see what all it said. I gotta have some donuts, guys, with my coffee. I wanted to use Streamlabs this morning. I had it set up with my logo and Maleah's picture, and it just kept saying app closing. So, crap on it. I'm going to try to get my profile picture changed today. That's exactly right, Mandy. They are more concerned with the wiener. You're crazy, girl. Well, I don't know what y'all think, but I think when there's allegations of abuse and you got proof like a Maleah's head injury and a previous injury it tried to heal, shouldn't just give their kids back. They was only took for 6 months. Okay. So they take these people's kids, right? They give them a couple parenting classes, come to their house once a month. Usually they about when they pop in once a month, these people know about what time they're coming, so they clean their house up. They'll get the drugs out of their system or take something to get it out of their system and just put on a big act, you know. Then they give the damn kids back to the people that abuse them and they get murdered. Just like little AJ. This crap gets me mad. I was somebody else saying, hey, Rhonda. Welcome, sweetie. Sorry she's new to the channel and I'm on here munching on a donut. Probably hear it with this mic. But anyways, guys, what do y'all think? Do y'all think the mother knows more? What do y'all think? From what I'm seeing, everybody thinks that. All over Twitter, all over the news videos here on YouTube. If anybody wants to call in, you can because I got it set up through Google Hangouts. You can turn the camera off. Yeah, Dana. That's right. She said, sometimes I feel like these women are only having kids to hold on to a man because they do not want them. I couldn't even ignore my kid when they're talking little abuse. How did I get on my phone? Guilty, Meg says. Kay says she either knows more or suspects more, but is trying to defend him to take attention off him. Well, that post that you sent me through Messenger, Kay, she had to make sure in that she said that Darian, come into her life, helped her with her kids, trying to make him look good. What her ass needs to be doing is focusing on trying to get the truth out of that son of a, you know what. I mean, I definitely agree with you, Kay. She definitely knows more. She may not be involved, but she suspects something. She has to. Is she that in love with him? Or is this both their plan? Did they do something to Maleah days before? They could have done it days before. Yeah. Then she could have went to Massachusetts, flew there for the funeral. I need your email, Kay. Send me your email through Messenger real quick. Yeah, they got me riled up, Meg. I get pissed off over kids. I suffered abuse as a child. I know what it feels like. It wasn't physical abuse, though. Just send me your email and I'll send you a link. I don't know how to send it through Messenger. Just send me your email address through Messenger is what I mean. And then I'll send you a link through email. Let's see what Rhonda says. I'm wondering with these cases how the little boy was spared and the girl was taken. Is child trafficking? It could be. It could be a possibility, but I don't think so. Let me check my messages and see if sorry about the smacking, guys. I had to eat something. I've been on a diet. Okay. Katie. Okay, I'm going to send it. Okay, I just sent you an invite. See if you got it. Sometimes it takes a second. We have Juror 13, who is a subscriber. I just saw a message from her. She's a friend. And y'all remember her little 3-month-old grandbaby. I say she's going on 4 months old now. She's got that big mass on her throat. She's got lymphatic malformation, and she will be having surgery here in the next week. Hey, girl.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I just wanted to put in a little input. Someone asked about the human trafficking side, and I have experience in that, so I kind of wanted to comment. Okay, so I was a licensed private investigator in Ohio for a few years, and I have been in this line of work since 2010, doing different things. I started working with a local organization that's a nonprofit, and they're also, I found out about them through my mom's church. They work with a lot of local churches, and they're a nonprofit. And so where I live in I don't live in Cincinnati. I live around the Cincinnati, Ohio area, and we have a lot of main highways or main arteries, they call them, or whatever, that go from, way up north to all the way down Florida, and we have them going east and west. There are a lot of them. So we have a really big problem with this in my area. So with that being said, I wanted to kind of dive in and really help and see what I could find out about it and see how I could help with my experience. And the group that I was working with didn't have a licensed private investigator with them at the time. And unfortunately, I had to have surgery, and then things that kind of transpired where I had to give up my license. I could still work with them. I just haven't the ability to yet. But so basically what happens in trafficking and human trafficking, there could be a number of different reasons why they can stay in the country, they can go out of the country, but a lot of times, just a small synopsis of what will happen. They can either be trafficked for organs, which honestly, in Maleah's situation, I wouldn't think they would have to have known if they were honestly with her for 24 hours, someone taking her. I would think they would know that something was wrong. They would see something, see an incision, hear something. She was 4 or 5. She'd say something. So that wouldn't necessarily be candidate, in my opinion. Brain surgery, you're on medication, like that wouldn't be okay. So that kind of rules that out, especially since they just took her. They would want to everybody, and in my experience, most of the time they're taking like healthy adults. Kids' organs aren't developed enough. So another one would be trafficking them for some sort of slavery in some instance. Sometimes it's sex slavery. It can also be, sexual trafficking. There's one side of it where it involves a lot of drugs, and then it involves a lot of teenagers and young women. And there's another side of it where it involves children, mothers of those children and stuff like that. So there's a lot of these instances where it could be a possibility, but just how it played out, where it's a male who honestly looks like he could defend himself. It's not someone like, if my husband was out with my son, I highly doubt anyone would ever approach him. He's 6'3", 225. You look at him, he looks like a linebacker. Like you're not going to mess with him. So I, on the other hand, am a 30-year-old female with a knee brace, a back brace, a child. I am a target. So they prey on the people who they know that they can win one over on, per se. And they don't fit that that description either. And if they were going to do that, just like I think it was Rhonda said, they're not going to leave the little boy, because unfortunately sex trafficking happens to both sexes. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. I thought I was okay. I have a little boy. No one cares. That's actually not the case at all. There's a lot of messed up people out there. They just don't fit that mold. So it is a possibility, but I just wanted to kind of take a minute to explain why I don't think that it is. And I told you from the beginning, I think that the guy's full of crap, but it is a possibility. Maybe they were abducted in some way, shape, or form. But like, I was talking to my husband about it. If it was something like that, I feel like maybe it was like they were in bad with drugs, a gang, some sort of violence, and she's being held for, maybe she was being held for like ransom, and they're just not saying anything about it. Or she could have been taken, or she could have been hurt. Like there was a case in my area where there was a little girl who was shot on a porch and she died, and it was in a drive-by shooting, and the target was the man standing next to her. She just became collateral damage. Sometimes that happens. So
you would think if it was about trafficking, you're cutting out a little bit, but if you would think if it was about trafficking, they would have took the little baby, the little 1-year-old, because they could have sold him to somebody. You know, what a
for sure. There's a lot of different reasons why they could use a child.
Yeah.
And they're not like, no matter if they knock him out for 24 hours or not, they're not going to leave him. There's no reason to. They would need to make sure that he was like completely where he doesn't remember a darn thing after the fact, or they're not going to leave him. They're going to kill him and hide his body. Like they're just not going to be a witness, because that's unless he escaped. If he escaped early on and she just got left behind, that's a different scenario. But for being captured for 24 hours and then he says him and his son got dropped off, that's not going to happen. They're not going to willy-nilly drop you and your son off on the side of the road and hope you don't tell anybody. That's not how that works. And to be abducted like that, if what he's saying is true, you have to know what you're doing and have some sort of experience. And these people know that that's a risk for them. They're not going to take it. It's just not going to happen.
Exactly. That's what I said. He could identify them, even though he was in and out of consciousness, he said. He could still, describe them to the police. That makes no sense to me. And,
Yeah,
why they didn't keep the other child. Why just Maleah?
Yeah. And if something would have happened where maybe Maleah accidentally got hurt and they didn't want to leave a witness. Like there have been instances where children have been spared because they're so young. I don't know exactly, it's confusing. He's either 1 or 2 and Maleah's either 4 or 5. I don't know, but I know there's a huge difference in 1 and 2-year-olds. Like 1-year-olds can only say a little bit. 2-year-olds have a little bit better grasp of what's going on. But they still aren't likely to be able to tell somebody in complete sentences what has happened to them. There's a way, like I know that I've had family members that it's happen. There's been interrogation style interviews where on little kids, they approach it completely different. And as they're able to talk, they do they have little puzzles and pictures and they have conversations with them, just simply like talking to them. It's one of the neatest things I've ever done in my life. But these children have no idea what's going on. But these investigators are so skilled that they're getting absolutely every piece of information that they need to know. So when I was sexually abused as a kid, I told you in chat yesterday, it was my grandfather. So there were a lot of people that have been affected by this in my family. And a lot of them were a lot older than me. And they never told anybody, but they protected their own family. They didn't tell my family. My dad didn't know. Nobody knew. It was my dad's dad. And so I got abused. My other cousin got abused. And I had 2 younger cousins that lived in my grandfather's house. They were my uncle's kids and they lived there for years and almost their whole life. And they wanted to make sure that neither of them were affected by this. And they were really young. And they were able to determine that he had never preyed on them. He had never advanced on them in any way that they knew of or would understand. And they were able to determine that. And the one was 1 and the other one was 3, I think. they were super, super young. And so they would be able to do that. And they can do that with the little boy if he is 2. Or, I mean, if he's 2 going on 3, they're able to interview them too. So they can get information from him, but not as much as they would from an adult. They're just not going to leave an adult witness. It's not going to happen, no matter what way that went, unless he knows them and he knows that, like, okay, this is my gang buddy. And if I rat on him, he's going to rat on me. So I'm going down too. I mean, if there's some sort of pact like that or mutual understanding, then maybe he knows. But then in that instance, he knows and he's complicit to that situation. So he has to be involved. There's just no way they're going to leave a witness. It's not going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen. They're not going to leave 2 witnesses behind. They would have murdered him and took the baby or killed the baby too. And why is there no witnesses to him pulling off on the side of the road? I'm sure that's a busy highway. Somebody had to have seen him if that really happened. And then on Saturday around 3:30 p.m., they picked up the Nissan Altima on a traffic cam.
Yep, I heard that.
Yeah, there is a picture of it. I have the picture. My theory is that was him, and he was scrambling around to get his story right, probably disposing of her body if he hadn't already done that before and then just came up with this story. I'm sure there'll be more photos come out if that car was caught on another traffic cam. And I think it's just a matter of time before the truth comes out. I would say the investigators know a lot more than what they're putting out to the public.
I think so too. I think so based on, I was listening to Texas EquiSearch and they were doing a live a couple of days ago when they first started searching, and they were kind of elaborating that they were searching a different area than they had before, but they wouldn't say why. So I know they know a little bit more as well. But what I was reading something, I don't know how accurate this is or not. I'm not familiar with the area. I've never been to Texas, but they have, I read something, someone said that in that area, they have a traffic cam every mile. If that's true, then if you're flying on the highway, say you're even only going 55, you're going to be caught on a few of those traffic cams slowing down, pulling over. You can't just pull over, and it's a few second thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's a gradual thing when you're on a highway. So you have to be caught on a few of those, depending on how far you would actually be seen. And if likely they have them on each side of the highway, I don't know if there's 1 mile is north and then the next mile is south, and then it alternates. So technically in each lane of highway, every 2 miles, that would be a little bit different. But depending on how they're set up, they could have been caught either way. And I saw that picture of the one on Saturday too. They commented that they could not tell if a tire was affected, but if it had been driving 24 hours after the fact, it either had to have been fixed or it wasn't damaged. You just can't be. He said that he had left his house at 5, and if it was caught on traffic at 30 the next day, that's 22 and a half hours later. You can't drive on a bad tire and not destroy your car either. So there's just a lot of holes in that. There's got to be records somewhere. And in that area, if they were driving around for 24 hours, they were caught on a whole lot of cameras. I guarantee you that they're either trying to subpoena those, trying to collect those. They probably already have some. Sometimes they have to, if businesses, occasionally the recordings are off site. And sometimes you actually have to get them from a company. It's not something that you can put on a DVD and give to them, within a day or so. Sometimes they actually have to come from Arlo or whatever, Motorola camera. So that could be something. So they're probably just trying to piece all of that together. But the fact that they released the stepfather as a person of interest yesterday, definitely they have to have something to believe that. They think this story is full of crap, or they have found additional evidence to believe that. And if he said that he was wandering around for a few hours on Saturday and he got dropped off, and him and his son showed up at the hospital, I want to know the condition of his son. So who took care of his son for 24 hours? Did he have a wet diaper? Is this kid potty trained? And what state was he in? Was he malnourished? I think that would also be very telling, because if he had a fresh diaper and he was in clean clothes, and you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't think the baby had any injuries.
That's what I heard too. So that I didn't hear the condition or the state that he was in. I'd be very curious to know that. But I know that that would be very telling for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Chat saying Shirley said it's similar to Susan Smith dying down, stranger on the highway. Exactly. I thought of Susan Smith when I heard about this story. I just really believe he done something to her. His story doesn't make sense. Why didn't the baby wander off? The baby just go sit there beside the road while he's passed out, unconscious?
Exactly.
I don't.
And my 2-year-old gets upset after 5 minutes of doing something. Like his attention span is so small that it doesn't matter what we're doing. In 5 or 10 minutes, he's over it. So there's no way you could be walking down on the side of a highway with your son for that many hours and something not going on, or someone not trying to help, or there was no police officer that saw you for 4 or 5 hours. A police officer isn't just going to drive by unless they just honestly can see him. You're just going to drive by an adult with a child walking on the side of the road. And if it's as populated as they say, there's no way that a police officer didn't patrol that area within probably multiple.
So I'm assuming this is a big highway. This is like a 4-lane, correct? Because they're going to the airport.
Yeah, it was either like a highway or like a main, some sort of like bypass or something, as I understand it. People were like plotting out on Google Maps where they said that they lived and where the airport was, and I'm pretty sure it was like 50 some minutes away. There's a good hour or so in that distance, and initially they were looking in one area and where the hospital was, and then at least that's my understanding, and now they're looking closer to the house. And they mentioned they were searching closer to the stepfather's house, which made me confused. Wouldn't they say they're looking at the parents' house? I don't know. It just made me think like they're together, right? Like I don't know, maybe they live together. They all live together, right?
Maybe he's not allowed to live there right now because of the CPS or something, and he had another house. I'm thinking that where they were already involved with CPS, she had that injury. She was abused again and hurt, and I think he got rid of her so he wouldn't get in trouble. But he's going to be in trouble. He's going to prison. Something happened. Hey, Ems. There's Ems. Hey, girl. Yeah, he definitely full of crap. I know that. I mean, and you made a good point. I would like to know the condition of the baby. Was he dehydrated? How was his diaper? Was he dirty? I'd say the cops already know this. The hospital documented it.
Sure.
I wish they would release that information, but I'm going to get on Google Maps and look that up too. I never thought about doing that. I'm just now getting into true crime and figuring out how to do everything. I'm used to being a viewer.
But I think I can actually send you. I took screenshots of that map. I'll try and send it to you on Messenger. I didn't want to take up too much of your time anyway, so I'll let you go. But I just wanted to give you the input on the trafficking stuff, and I'll send you. I'll go back and if I don't have that screenshotted, I'll go back and I'll find it. I'll save it. Oh, here it is. I'm sending this to you on Messenger right now. So you can see it.
Okay, Hen. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling in. We'll definitely do a live stream. Message me and we'll figure out when to do it.
Absolutely. Thanks for letting me call in. I appreciate it. You have a good day, girl. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in. Bye, sweetie.
Bye.
Katie's a very smart girl. She's very smart. She had some good points because I didn't think about that. What was the condition of the baby? You know, was his diaper wet? Was he hungry? Was he dirty? And like she said, what 2-year-old's just going to sit beside their parent while they're unconscious for God knows how long and not wander off anywhere? The story just doesn't make sense. And someone in the chat has said earlier, I believe it was Shug, maybe he took her and sold her. He could have owed a drug debt or anything. It could be gang related. They could have a beef with it. But why did they keep both children? Why just the girl? It just doesn't make sense. And I firmly believe the mother knows more than what she's saying, or like Kay says, she suspects something. And there is one more thing I was going to talk about this morning. They found a baby in Chicago yesterday, sitting on a trash dump. A baby boy. Now, there was a pregnant girl from Chicago missing, Maleah. I can't pronounce her last name. I can't even think about it. Can't even think of it. But anyways, she went missing last week or the week before. Her due date was Sunday. She was going to have a boy, and here some walker by her sees a baby laying there on the trash dump, and that's all I've heard about it. I'm gonna try to find out more today. Hey, Herbie, Mel. Yeah, there's two women. You're right, Beth. There's two women from Chicago. One's a black female, one's a Hispanic female. They both are pregnant. I know it, Rhonda. How in the world, just like Chris Watts, how in the world does these people get on the news pleading for their family's safe return? And they know in their own brain that they've murdered them. Like, how did they do that? As soon as I seen Chris Watts on HLN, his first news interview when it first happened, I told my hubby, I said, that guy's fixing his family. Look at the way he's acting, his eyes, his smiles. You could just tell. Yeah, JoJo, we're talking about a missing child from Houston, Texas. I've got several videos. I didn't mean this to be videos yesterday, y'all. I was just trying to keep everybody updated. When I seen something new, I would just do a short little video. Rhonda's new to the chat, everybody. Welcome her. We're not too professional on here, Rhonda. Just do it my way, the CC way. Herbie Herb's got a good channel, guys. Y'all should check her out if you want to know what's going on YouTube, the latest drama. Let's see. I'm on Google. Let's see if there's any more updates about Maleah. So they can't search. It looks like the storm has stopped the search with Texas EquiSearch searching for Maleah. Now, I watched her. He is the director of Texas EquiSearch. His daughter was actually, I think she was murdered and went missing. I don't think they ever found her. So this is why he does this. But he did an interview yesterday, and basically what he said, not these exact words, was that he didn't believe the stepfather's story. They've searched everywhere. They've searched every dumpster they could, everywhere where they said she was abducted from, where he woke up at. Now they're, like Kay said, searching near the stepfather's house, which is confusing. Why do they say the stepfather's house? Why didn't they say the parents' house? I wonder if they've been in there getting any DNA, doing forensic work inside the house. I'm sure they have. Kay's got me interested in how the baby looked when they walked into the hospital. Let me see what this is saying about the search. So it basically just says they're trying to piece together his whereabouts over the weekend. I would say Maleah was dead before Friday. unfortunately. I just feel like that. I could be wrong. I mean, we all could be totally wrong. She could have been abducted, um, sold into, to be a sex slave or whatever. I just don't believe that. Because if that was the case, there they had two healthy children. Well, Maleah, she had that brain injury and had surgery. But you know what I mean? There's two kids there. Why didn't they take the little boy? Doesn't make sense. Why would they leave the man and the little boy as a witness? Why would they keep him 24 hours? He didn't look like he'd been beat up too much to me. I mean, crap, I could go outside and hit myself in the head too with a rock or something and get a knot on my head. It just don't make sense. Why the hell didn't they hit him in the back of the head? And I thought that he said he pulled over because he heard a popping sound and thought it was his tire that was blown. But I took it as the popping sound may have been a gunshot, but I don't know. That's just me. It just doesn't fit. It gets me so annoyed. I really thought that the police would have got to the bottom of this. And something else I noticed is the detective is a homicide detective. I thought they had like missing persons detectives and homicide detectives. This is a homicide detective. Maybe the homicide detectives investigate missing persons. I don't know. Yes, Rhonda, it would explain a lot the baby's condition. Yeah, who looked after the child? The kidnappers? I know from what I read, they said the baby didn't have any injuries. Just convenient, they took Maleah but didn't take his child. And I'm assuming this is his child, the 1 or 2 year old. Now, I've seen reports that he's 1 year old. I've seen reports that he's 2 years old. We will read the mother's Facebook post again. Okay. It is his child, and homicide detectives do investigate missing persons. Let me go to my messages. We're gonna. I can't see the chat for a second. I clicked out of it. Okay. Kay sent me photos of the map too. Here's a Facebook post from Brittany Bowen, Maleah's mother. Praise the Lord. There's new footage of someone dropping him off one step closer to finding Maleah. Praises to the Most High. She needs to stay off Facebook and do something else while this is going on. That's the way I feel about it. We just had an awful tragedy here. Speaking about Facebook, I just saw it. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Okay, let's read her Facebook post. I know I read it yesterday, but we're going to read it again. The media is really pissing me off with how they're portraying Darian. Everybody wants to be a detective, but don't know the real ages of my kids and what day this actually happened. Well, what day did actually happen, Brittany? That stands out to me. Okay. I keep reading how the historian not adding up. It's not going to because they took what they wanted out of what we told them. We spent almost 8 hours being interrogated, but not one piece of crucial information surfaced. They put us all in separate rooms, and I heard everything they were asking and what was being told to them. Well, why do you got to put that statement in there for? What I'm thinking. Okay. Left the part out how they banged his head against the car. So, is that how he got that knot? Probably, yeah, because he didn't get knocked out, for sure. How he has a lot of deep cuts all over his body. How he was disoriented. Said he was unconscious for 24 hours. No, he was going in and out of unconscious throughout the entire ride. Everyone want to say what they would have, should have been done, but bro, no matter how hard one person could have fought, shit could have turned out worse. Him dead and my baby boy could have been gone also. Did y'all just hear that? I'm gonna read that again. Let me find it. Everyone want to say what they would have, should have been done, but bro, no matter how hard one person could have fought, shit could have turned out worse. Him dead and my baby boy could have been gone. How much worse can it get, woman? Your little girl that just had brain surgery is gone. That statement right there is really weird. Let me see what else. I'm not feeling this shit, and the way it's going about, I'm not siding with wrong. Sorry. My kids love Darian. Darian stepped in and helped me raise my kids. Anybody who knows him knows he is a heart of gold. I don't care what anyone has to say. My family is being spiritually attacked. How is our family being spiritually attacked? That don't even make sense to me. Maybe y'all can explain that to me. Okay. When I wanted the Amber Alert to take place, they didn't want to do it till my baby boy and Darian showed up at the hospital and realized Maleah wasn't there. Now you want to put out an Amber Alert and do all this other crap, but when we were concerned about my family, everyone took the shit lightly and could have, and we could have been found Maleah. For one, the girl can't spell or write sentences. For two, this statement is a little alarming, especially when she says, now you want to put out Amber Alerts and do all this other crap. But when we were concerned, concerned about your daughter, because your husband, your little boy is back, so you're not concerned anymore. That's what it says, basically. Everyone took the shit lightly, and we could have found Maleah. That's just alarming for me. That statement. Here's another thing that's posted. It's come to our attention video surveillance on the home Brittany and Darian shared did not show footage of Maleah outside the home on Thursday, May 2nd or Friday, May 3rd. When the older child was picked up by his aunt on Friday afternoon, Darian refused to allow her to see Maleah, claiming she was sick with the flu. Now, that's hearsay. But isn't that alarming? Hold on, guys, and I'll get back to the chat. That is weird. So she wasn't picked up outside on camera or anything. And when the aunt asked to see her when she picked up the older brother, he said Maleah was sick with the flu. Okay, so the news did report that she was sick with the flu. But the aunt still could have came in the house and went to her bedroom wherever she was laying down at and said hello to the child, but he wouldn't let her. That's weird. What do you want me to repeat, Valerie? Do me read the thing again? Hey, Lorraine. She probably did. Yeah, past tense. When we were concerned, she says in that statement. When we were concerned. Well, you're still not concerned. Your husband, your son came home. You should still be concerned because Maleah's not there. Is it crackling? These head, my things made me need to be charged. Is it still cracking up, y'all? My voice? Hold on, let me get back to the thing. I'll read it again. I don't know what the older brother says. Good question. He would know if Maleah was there. If she really had the flu. Every once in a while it is. Crap, man, these are awesome earbuds. I hope they're not messing up. They shouldn't. I take good care of them. They're Southern Mom. Let me get back to my messages, yeah, and I will read this again since it broke up. Let me go back and get them. Okay. The media is really pissing me off with how they're portraying Darian. Everybody wants to be a detective, but don't know the real ages of my kids and what date this actually happened. I keep reading how the story not adding up. It's not going to because they took what they wanted out of what we told them. We spent almost 8 hours being interrogated, but not one piece of crucial information surfaced. They put all of us in separated rooms, and I heard everything they were asking and what was being told to them. Left the part out how they banged his head against the car, how he has a lot of deep cuts all over his body, how he was disoriented, said he was unconscious for 24 hours. No, he was going in and out of consciousness throughout the entire ride. Everyone want to say what they would have and should have been done. But bro, no matter how hard one person could have fought, shit could have turned out worse. Him dead and my baby boy could have been gone also. I'm not feeling this shit. The way it's going about, I'm not siding with wrong. Sorry. My kids love Darian. Darian stepped in and helped me raise my kids. Anybody who knows him knows he has a heart of gold. I don't care what anyone has to say. My family is being spiritually attacked. When I wanted the Amber Alert to take place, they didn't want to do it. My baby boy and Darian showed up at the hospital and realized Maleah wasn't there. Now you want to put out Amber Alerts and do all this other crap. But when we were concerned about my family, everyone took the shit lightly and we could have been found Maleah. Girl can't write for number one, spell. Now, that sticks out to me. When we were concerned. Well, you should still be concerned, woman, because one of your kids is still gone. God, it makes me so mad. Yeah, like who in their right mind would make a Facebook post like that when your damn child is missing? And that really sticks out to me. She says, when we were concerned. So she's not concerned anymore. They're not concerned because they know where Maleah's at. She knows too. If she, and the way she said, anyone that knows Darian knows he has a heart of gold. See, she's trying to convince everybody that he's a good person. Trying to convince them by telling them, oh, he stepped in and was a dad, this, and that. Oh, yeah. And also she posted there, she could hear everything that they were asking Darian in the interrogation room. Why did she say that for? What relevance does that have? Well, I try to follow her on Facebook. I guess her account's private. Now, her grandmother, her Nana, I saw on TV. I could tell within her face she was genuinely concerned. But the mother, I know she cried and stuff, but I found it to be fake. I seriously believe they know what happened. I don't know how anybody could hurt a child. I'm watching a trial right now. I'm trying to think of the guy's last name. McNabb. Him and his girlfriend killed their 14-day-old baby. Yes. put her in the woods. She had blunt force trauma. They put her in the woods wrapped in plastic in a log, next to a log. Yeah. You don't let men just, you're right, Beverly. You don't let men just take charge of your kids. Now, my hubby is good to my son. He's always been good to. He's never spoke a hateful word to him because I wouldn't put up with that crap anyways. He's my kid. I mean, I expect my son to respect him because he is good to him, but I'm the boss of my son. He doesn't tell him anything. I do it. Nobody's going to boss my kid around. Hey, Bama. So what, Bama? I'm a country bumpkin too. What do you mean you lost me for a while? Have you not been getting notified? Stupid YouTube doesn't notify anybody. I believe they do that crap on purpose. Make billions of dollars probably, and they can't even get their notifications right. They make a killing off all these channels, these big channels. No, love, you don't let a step parent take charge. You know, my husband, if Timothy is bad to stay on games, like the whole weekend, he likes to come here, he likes to stay on his games, and then it's because my mom won't let him do that. She makes him get off and stuff. But if my husband thinks he's been on there too long, he says something to me about it. He'll say, Celeste, maybe you should make him get off there for a while. He's been on there all day. It's not good. He'll say something like that to me. And I make the decision whether to make him get off the game or not. Because it's, it's my child. Nobody's bossing my child around. That's right, Suge. Anybody lays a hand on my child, it'll be the last time they lay a hand on anything. I'm telling you, if I caught somebody abusing my child or something, I'd probably go to prison. Because where I've suffered abuse and stuff, I probably would snap. Oh, really, Suge? They're 34, 32. Damn it. Nobody gets notified. I don't know why. You can try to unsub and sub again and make sure the bell's on. I heard somebody say that will fix it, but I don't know. I don't get notified of half the people I'm subscribed to. Well, crap, half the people I'm subscribed to I don't even watch. Sometimes I just do it just to support people. Yeah, it's okay for a step parent to help. And my son, he likes my husband. He really does. There's good step parents out here, and there's bad ones. There's not many Southern accents on here, or is there, Kim and Bama? I was a little bit paranoid when I first started YouTube because I talk so country, but everybody's been so nice and they don't care. As long as you're nice and respectful to them, they don't care what you sound like. Me too, JoJo. I would die for my kid. And I always tell him, if anybody ever does anything to you, I don't care what they threaten you with or whatever. All you got to do is tell me, and I tell you, it'll never happen again. I always make sure to tell him stuff like that. I always ask him. I talk to him. It's good to talk to your kids about stuff like that. That's right, Cheryl. It don't matter if they're grown or not. That statement screams guilt, Rhonda. Absolutely. And that really sticks out to me when we were concerned. So your husband and baby shows up, so you're not concerned. What that says to me. using past tense and stuff. I would like for that the dialogue body language woman. I'd like for her to analyze these two. I love that channel. Yeah, Mel Mel. My little brother's dad, I always kept in contact with him even after him and my mom split because he was just such a good person. Hey, Charlie's girl. How are you? Hey, One Love. There was some more stuff posted. Let me go see if I can find out. See the other ones. Read them. Let's see. Oh yeah, here was the other. Now I don't know who posted this. It says disappearance in case discussion crime connect. It has come to our attention video surveillance on the home of Brittany and Darian. On the home that Brittany and Darian shared did not show footage of Maleah outside the home on Thursday, May 2nd or Friday, May 3rd. When the older child was picked up by his aunt on Friday afternoon, Darian refused to allow her to see Maleah, claiming she was sick with the flu. So, if that right there is true, he had already done something to Maleah. Now, when did the mother leave to go to Massachusetts? I've got to find that out. I've got to get a notebook. Yeah, I've got to write down some stuff so I can remember right here. When did she leave for Massachusetts? When did she fly out? We got to figure that out today. Patty may know that. Let's see what else I have here. Okay, here is someone named Jeanette Gus. And she's posted on Facebook, I feel attacked. I'm trying my hardest to make sure I keep y'all informed. Give everyone an update as soon as I hear one. And y'all really making it seem like I'm the bad guy here, but I do thank everyone that has been supportive and showering with positive words. Not once have I ever defended anyone. I only answer questions I know the answers to. And like I said, I'd rather not give my opinion on how I feel about the story. Skylar, please, hush. Goodness. She made me lose my place. At the end of the day, I'm here to help find Maleah. Y'all worried about the wrong things, Facebook detectives. Y'all put all the energy into finding baby girl and pass some flyers, please. Who is Jeanette Gus? Is she the baby's grandmother? No, they have not found her, Bama. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me put this little speaker out so she'll quit crying. She loves to interrupt live streams. Oh yeah, I did a video on that Colorado shooting yesterday. The school shooting at that CM school. One of the suspects is a female, which is kind of unusual. But actually, the first school shooter was the female, Brenda Spencer. And 411 Now, Will's channel, he has a video he did a couple weeks ago about Brenda Spencer. She doesn't sound like a grieving mother. Unfortunately, I think this is another AJ Friend case. And I'm gonna follow their court case when they go to court, because they've charged both parents of murdering AJ. So I'm gonna follow that case when it goes to court. I would say they will try to take plea deals. I'd say the father will be the one, maybe that gets a plea deal, because I think he's the one that led them to AJ's body, plus the cell phone. Gave them away the pings. Rhonda says, if you got yourself a good man, you're a lucky woman, as he is to have you, but they are rare, and I know that from experience. Absolutely. Well, he's not perfect. We've had our problems, but he's always, provided for me and my son since I know him. He's pretty sweet. Like the other day, he brought me in that big rooster, that metal rooster flower planter, and he does things like that all the time. I didn't know it. I had been outside on the phone with somebody, and I came in here, and he was just like standing in there in the hallway next to the dryer. And he was smiling, and I was like, "What? What are you doing?" And he had that rooster sitting there. It's kind of cute. Yeah, one left. There's probably sexual abuse. I believe that he abused that girl. One of them did again, and she suffered a really bad injury. And where they'd been in trouble with CPS, he got rid of her and then tried to act like this abduction. We've got to find out when that mother flew to Massachusetts to her father's funeral. It's very suspicious to me about that Facebook post is saying that he refused to let the aunt that picked up her brother see Maleah that day because she had the flu. He refused to allow her to see. Why? Hey, if it had been my niece, I could move out of the way, buddy. I'm going to see my niece, make sure she's okay. You know. Oh, Rhonda, I love the Australian accent, girl. I love it. Mel, she's from Australia too. Mel, where is Topaz at? I need to send her a message. I haven't seen her around in a while. When was she? I don't know when anyone last seen Maleah, Mel. That's why I was like, I need to figure out when that mother flew to Massachusetts. What did that post say, guys? What day did they say that he refused for the aunt to see the child? Let me go back and look. Now, this could be hearsay. Well, it is hearsay, but we're going to look at it again. Let's see. On Friday, May 3rd, when the other child was picked up by his aunt on Friday afternoon, Darian refused to allow her to see Maleah, claiming she had the flu. So I would say she was already passed away Friday. She's probably been passed away for a couple of days. So that's my theory. I don't have any facts to back it up, but I really believe it with all my heart, guys. I believe it with everything in my body that he did something to her that she's passed. I believe it. I believe with all my body the mother knows something too. I believe I can't help it. Gets me manic. It's 1 a.m. there. It's Thursday. Ain't that so weird? It's so weird, to me, how you can talk with everybody all around the world. It's cool. Deep Mind Unraveled. Hey, man. Yeah, he was trying to hide her. She was already, either she was alive in there, beat up, dying, or she was already passed away. That's why he couldn't show the aunt her. He couldn't let the aunt see her. Hopefully it comes out today. They've had to stop searching because of the storms down in Texas. Yeah, I believe it. Kim, I believe she's passed away. Yes, ma'am. Good point. If we think like that, then you can only imagine what the cops are thinking. And the cops has got a lot more info than what we've got. They know a lot more. Her little Facebook post, the mother's Facebook post about being able to hear the questions in the other room during the interrogation. Why did she put that in there? she's very defensive, trying to make everybody think he's a great person, great stepfather. Aussie. AC, I don't know how to pronounce it. CPS knows the mother almost beat her baby to death, causing her multiple brain injuries. I've seen her hospital photos, reprehensible. Why did CPS? I don't know why they're giving these kids back to their abusers, guys. I have no idea. What are you barking at, girl? Birds? Maybe the bears out there or something. She was barking. Okay. They need some stricter laws when it comes to abuse. When they get their kids took and there's allegations of abuse, if they got brain injuries and stuff, it shouldn't be that easy to get them back. I mean, actually, if you can prove that a parent's abusing a child, I don't think they should ever get them back. They should be put with somebody that loves them, cares for them, protects them. I mean, adults that's never been abused, except they just don't know what it's like to be a kid and have an adult abuse you. It's the worst feeling in the world. I just can't even describe the terror that you feel. They both know what happened. Absolutely. That's why she's on there defending him, telling people that he stepped up and been a good dad because she knows what he's done and she's trying to make him look good, draw the attention away from him. If that guy had pulled off on the side of the road, this is national news, someone would have come forward and said, hey, yeah, I saw that guy on the side of the road. He was getting out and he was checking his tire. There was another car pulled in behind him. Someone would have remembered that. And with all the traffic cams, he should have been caught on camera more than just once. And I believe that they have a lot more photos of that Nissan Altima. They've just not released it yet. Memo says, I'm thinking the operation she might have had on her brain was a shunt put in because of the swelling after that beat her last time. Yes, and there was another injury. This is why I got reported. There was an old injury that the doctor found. So this wasn't the first time this child had had a brain injury. Oh, I would love to go to Australia, babe. Oh, I want to go to the Australian Zoo so bad. I can't stand it. I want to go visit Maleah and the kangaroos. Yeah, when they were concerned about her. Yeah, you're right, Shirley. That's what the statement said. When they were concerned about her, they wouldn't put out an Amber Alert. Stinking dog's crying again. Driving me crazy. Oh my goodness. She wants her food delivered to her. She's mad. I didn't give her the right kind of food this morning. She wanted chicken. I give her beef. Oh, I would love to come over there, Mel. I'll bring this beagle and give it to you. She drives me crazy. All she does is cry to get her way, cry to get her food brought to her in bed. I mean, have you ever heard of a more swamp dog? It's crazy. I know they focus on reunification. I know they want kids to be raised by their parents and stuff, but sometimes it's just not safe for them to be with their parents. I mean, this kid had a head injury. The doctors and stuff thought she was being abused. Now, I know doctors and stuff can be wrong, but she had an old injury. That's what made them think, you know, hey, two head injuries on this child, that don't make sense. So they reported it. It's not possible with some families. Oh man, well, that would be so great if you could come to the U.S. and us live stream. I was hoping that maybe some of us that are close by could meet up somewhere this summer. Like Shirley, she's not that far from me. There's a few others. Olivia. I don't know where Katie's at, True Crime Truth Finders. I thought she was up in Ohio somewhere because I'm going up through there in September to a Kid Rock concert and Hank Jr. concert. I will try to live stream for that. Oh, really? Well, we'll definitely have to meet up. I mentioned it to my hubby. I was telling him about your channel and how your hubby helps you with it sometimes. And it's like she lives up there. We could meet her out for dinner or something. Mandy says, "Yeah, Olivia, that would be awesome if we could all meet up like at the Breaks Park or somewhere." Mandy says, "There's a person in my state who got their child taken away because they peed dirty for pot. No abuse, no neglect whatsoever. Took them a year to get them back. Yet these monsters get them back." That's the way it is around here too, Mandy. If you test positive for pot or anything, they take your kids and it's hard to get them back. I know a woman that had her kids took for 2 or 3 years. I mean, they visited her house after she got them back. Gosh, for years, I guess. And what it was is she had pot in her system, and they busted her with some pot in her house, I guess. But there was no pills or anything involved, which I know you can't be selling pot for your kids and stuff, but there was no abuse or anything. Well, you need to come here and visit Sunny Rooster. We'll have Sunny Rooster meet and greet. Yeah, I would like him to Australia. Yeah, it's very strict here, Mandy, which I'm in a Commonwealth state. Um, but it's very strict. We've had just such a bad drug problem around here, and they got really strict. We've had a couple of kids killed around here, too. See, bad stuff happens everywhere, small towns and big cities. Crap, I live in a coal mining town, and there was a dude out here on the road, the ways, that killed his mom and stepdad, buried them in the yard. It was 6 months because they didn't have family around here. Their family lived off from here. 6 months before anybody reported them missing. And the son was just continuing to live in the house. His mom, dad's clothes was there. He told everybody they took off and went to Florida and didn't take nothing with them. I love Hollis. I'd love to meet every one of y'all. I was telling my hubby this morning because I was joking around about Sonny's meet and greet. I said I'd love to have a meet and greet like at the Breaks Park or something. We all could um, rent a cabin and stay in it. We'd have a good time. No guys allowed. Oh my gosh, Bama. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. How could you do that? Put a kid in scalding hot water. Goodness gracious. I don't know how people can be mean to kids, elderly. and dogs. Oh yeah, on the Teen Mom too, Janelle Evans, her husband David Eason took her dog and shot it because it snipped at the little girl. MTV fired Janelle because the advertisers were pulling their ads from MTV, like the Greenies, like the little dog biscuits that help cleanse their teeth, Chipotle. There was a bunch of them that pulled ads, so they fired Janelle. They probably wouldn't have fired her if she hadn't went back to David, but he wasn't allowing her to film. MTV wouldn't film him. They fired him from the show because of his homophobic posts he makes. So people like that, they give every one of us Southerners a bad name. Bad name. Yeah, I have never spanked my child in his life. Ever. I've never had to. Never thought about it. I just, when I had kids, I decided I'd never whip them and stuff. My mom whipped us with switches and belts and cords. And back in the day, she's a changed person now, but it's rough growing up. It's just weird how, your parents will be rough on you, but then when you're grown and have kids, they're totally different with their grandkids. My son is the boss of my mom. He tells her what to do. Oh, he don't tell her what to do, but my mom loves my son just like he's her own. Yeah, well, I tapped his hands a little bit when he was little to teach him, you know, not to pull stuff off tables and stuff. Yes, there's a big difference in that, Mel. I don't think a little tap on the tail is a big deal myself. Um, but when you start beating a child, I just don't like the whipping stuff. I just don't like that. I find I can talk to my son about anything and he listens. Um, he's very intelligent. He's very smart. It's a very kind heart. He's always giving his dad lunch money away to other kids. And he tries that. One month he gave $100 away. And I was like, son, I know you want to help other kids. That is a lot of money. I told him the other day, I said, do you think they would give you all that? He said, Mom, you're not supposed to think like that. But it's the truth. They wouldn't give it to him. He just got a really big heart. Yes, man. He stays with my mom. I have joint custody. CPS or nothing like that was ever involved. It was just a decision between her and I after I witnessed that suicide. But he comes and goes as he wants. There's no schedule. It's always been like that. It's Timothy's decision when he comes, which he should be here Friday. His dad wanted him to come this weekend because it's his dad's birthday, but it's also in this weekend Mother's Day. So he was kind of conflicted on what to do. And I was like, well, go spend some time with your dad. And then Sunday or Saturday evening, whenever, you can come to Mom's. And I usually let him, he usually stays Sunday night with me too. And I get him ready for school. Yeah, I video chat with him every day, which he doesn't live at 13 miles from me. But hopefully he's going to be in the same town with me. My mom's moving. She's moving to an apartment, but in the same town she's in. But she's looking for a place over in this area too, so that they can be closer to me. Yeah, Yeah, that's give me a break, but I miss him when he's gone. I think that's why I was kind of in a bad mood Monday morning. Plus, online stuff gets on my nerves. But I always get in a bad mood when he leaves. I'm always in the best mood when he's around. And he's proud of my YouTube channel. He tells his little friends about it, which made me feel good. He's wanting a Sunny Rooster t-shirt. I started to give him mine, but I was like, nah, I'll just wait till I get the other ones made, which Maggie's working on. We need a guy's shirt for Crime and Coffee, but guys probably don't want to wear a Crime and Coffee shirt. Skylar, can you hush? Goodness. Y'all see what I put up with this? Dog crying 24/7. Yeah, I'm going to have to give her chicken to make her shut up. But anyways, guys, I think I'm going to end this live stream and see what this dog wants. Of course, I'm going to give her some chicken. I'm opening it right now. If I find out any more info on Maleah, right here, it's on the news. Hold on before I close down here. Little girl missing. It's not saying. Okay. He has changed his story multiple times, guys. It's saying on the news. I'm going to unmute this. I hope I don't get trouble again.
I want to video see the long posted and listen to FBI.
So that's basically all it's saying is the stepdad has changed his story multiple times. Unfortunately, guys, I believe we're going to be right. I believe he did do something to her because let me tell you something. If that really happened, you'd have the same story. You know, like my boyfriend, when I was 28 years old, some of y'all may not know, but he committed suicide in front of me. I have the same, you know what I mean? When stuff happens like that, you may remember something new, but you don't keep changing your story if you're telling the truth. He keeps changing his story because he's lying. And it's saying on here, flooding stops volunteers search for 4-year-old. See, some places it says she's 4, some places it says she's 5. Maybe she's almost 5. Who knows? But anyways, y'all have a great day. I love you all. I'm going to go get the dog out some food and check on my rooster. Love you guys. Peace. Thank you for chatting. And welcome to the new subscribers.